Okay, I can see 3 people have joined. Okay, making 4 now. Making 4 now. So we are going to spend a little more time. Then, so we are going to spend a little more time. Then, a troubleshooting process. Then I made mention of the steps, the 6 steps in troubleshooting. 6 steps. 6 steps. So I'm going to look at and explain what is involved. Of course, we've started explaining it before. So now I'm going to brush over it again and explain those that we have not mentioned before. So then afterward, we'll take a few examples of faults that can happen on the computer system. So others are still joining. We have 11 people now, so it's okay. So first of all, among the six steps, you must identify the problem. You must identify the problem. Then to identify the problem, there are many things to be done, like checking the bit codes, the POST, asking questions from the owner, open-ended questions, closed-ended questions. Then establish a theory of probable cause. What might have caused the error on the computer? You establish a theory of that. Then you need to test the theory, test the theory to ensure that what you have imagined might be the problem, they are actually the cause of the problem. So test the theory. Then after you have tested the theory, you need to actually establish a plan of action to solve the problem. Establish a plan of action to actually solve the problem. Okay, so after establishing a plan to solve the problem, what do you next do is to verify full system functionality. That's number 5. Verify full system functionality. Okay, somebody is asking a question. What is the meaning of POST? Oh, POST is a power on self-test. Power on self-test. That is what the computer does. When you turn the computer on, let me quickly respond to that. When you turn the computer on, then the computer carries out a check of all the installed hardware needed for the computer to start up. So the computer checks itself. You do in-house check, to check if there is RAM, if there is hard drive, if there is operating system, the bootable drive, and so on and so forth. It will go round. Even if there is no mouse or keyboard, the computer will know. It will check everything. So at that point, if there is a missing device that will make the computer not to boot, then the computer will indicate by an error or by a beep code, error message on the screen or a beep code. That is a POST. So you can log on to your notes and read more in chapter 3 about POST. All right. So let's go back to the what we are discussing. That is the troubleshooting process. So like I said, there are 6 steps. So I was talking about step 4, establishing a plan of action to solve the problem. And then step 5 is to verify full system functionality. That's all the functions of the computer are still intact. The computer can still do everything needed, everything it was doing before. You must verify. If the computer was printing before, after you have repaired it, you have troubleshooted and repaired, then it must be able to print again. If it was browsing, it must be able to browse again. If it was typing, maybe typing file, it must be able to type again. If it was actually playing music and video, it must be able to do it now. So everything that it was doing before, you must verify all those functions again. Now, if there's anyone that your action has affected, you must restore it before you return it to the owner. For instance, maybe you needed to format the system and the apps, maybe the apps that the owner was using to type, maybe Microsoft Word have been formatted. You need to restore it back for the owner to ensure that all the full system functionality has been restored. Nothing is missing. So that is it. Then the last part is after verifying all full system functionality comes, document all finding and outcomes. Now before you go to document finding and outcomes, verify full system functionality, and if needed, you must introduce a maintenance plan. You now note what the problem was and what should be done next time so that the problem will not repeat itself. And all those things you will tell the owner when you are handing the system back to the owner. You inform the owner about all your findings regarding maintenance, that okay, the reason why your computer developed this problem was because you did not do so, or you did so wrong. So another time, do this. So that is a plan of action, maintenance plan of action after verifying full system functionality. So and don't say if I tell the man now and tomorrow, if the system breaks down again, he will not bring it, he will do it by himself. Don't say that. The man will likely trust you more, and so when there's any other small problem, he will be running down to come and meet you, and you, as you are doing the work, even no matter how little, you are charging the person collecting, your pay. It's not free. So you have to gain the trust of the owner, the client. You must gain the trust of the client by telling them some of the precautions needed in order to enjoy their system, in order not to run into problems easily in the usage of their computer. Then you now go to the last one, document all findings and outcomes. Everything you have done to make sure that the system worked, the time spent, the equipment used, the parts changed, all the maintenance carried out, you must document everything. You must write them down. Yes. Why is that needed? That is very important because those information will be kept in your log files for the future. Sometimes when you finish working on a computer and then maybe last year or maybe 6 months ago or 3 months ago, and then you have a record of that problem. Somebody again may bring another system that has similar problem or the same exact problem. And right now you might have forgotten the process you took to solve the first one. So what you need to now do is to go to your log file and check all the things you have written down. You now remember, this kind of system, last time I work on this type of, took you 2 days to solve the problem that time. It will not take you 2 days again, maybe only 30 minutes. Meanwhile, you are still going to collect the same money or even higher than what you collected from the first person. And the owner will not know. So what you now need to do is to tell the owner, please come back tomorrow for your system. All right. Come back tomorrow or next sorry, gentlemen and ladies. So what I'm saying is that when you have a record of everything you are doing on the system, it may benefit you in the future. It may help you to solve such problem again. And of course, it may be the same problem, the same system that they return maybe after some few years or months again. But you might have forgotten what you did to solve it that time. So what you did is what that you kept in your record, in your log file. You can now easily go and pick your log file and check through and see all the process, all the procedure. Now, maybe it took you 1 week because the problem was hard that time. Now it will not take you 1 week, maybe only a few hours or one day to solve it. That is because you have a record of what you did before. All right. All right. Now, yeah, somebody is asking on the chat, what will be the repercussion if you skip any of the steps? What the problem will be is that you may not do an effective job. And again, if you skip any of the problem, it may take you any of the steps rather. If you skip any of the steps, it may take you longer time to actually solve the problem on the computer. For instance, we said at the start that you must identify the problem. Maybe you did not use enough questions you did not ask enough questions from the owner. Maybe you skip that step, that there's no need to ask them any question. So they said the computer cannot on, no problem, go, and then I will fix it. It may take you longer time to actually fix that problem of the system not coming on because you skip the step of asking questions from the owner, or perhaps you ask questions from the owner. But when we said establish a theory of probable cause, you skip that side and you begin to open the system, removing this, removing that. It may take you longer hours because you did not establish a plan to solve the problem. But when you have established a plan, it may be you don't even need to remove something from the computer. You don't need to remove one screw at all. Maybe it's only the cable, the power cable that is having problem. But because you do not have a proper plan that you want to follow step by step, you may spend the entire day, removing this part, removing that part from the computer, doing all sorts of things to solve the problem. The problem is still there. But where the problem is, it's actually a small fault that you should have, if you have a small plan, you could have easily fixed. So if you don't follow all the steps, the repercussion is that you will suffer. You yourself will suffer. Yes, it will take you a longer hour, to solve the problem. That is that. Now, when you log on to your notes, you will see so many faults, possible faults that have been written down in the in the uh, in the notes, and then possible solution to this problem. Now, computer problems may come in three different ways or a mixture of any of those three. It may be hardware problem, it may be software problem, it may be sometimes networking problem, or a combination of these issues. It may be between hardware and software together, network and hardware, and so on and so forth. So these are the common problems. These are the main common causes of computer faults. It's either hardware, the software, or network problem. All right. So you need to actually have an idea. You need to have an idea what the problem usually, are, problems that the computer normally have, the angles from which problem usually come from, and then how to resolve problems. Now, in order to be versatile in solving computer problems, repairing, troubleshooting, and repair, you need to actually, work with other experienced technicians. Sometimes you face a problem, you try, you cannot get it. You can ask questions from others that say, friend, I have this problem on this computer that I'm working on, and this is what is happening. I've done this, I've done that. What do you think can cause it? I've not been able to fix it. And they will tell you, have you checked so place, so parts? Check this, check that, and then the problem will be resolved. Sometimes you may be able to find online information, from websites of the manufacturer, from forums on the internet, from news media on the internet, whereby faults of computers have been discussed. For instance, big companies such as AP, Dell, most of them have websites and they have discussion forums where people discuss where people discuss the problems that their system usually have, and then people have offered solution. They normally lay down solution there. And sometimes it may not even be on forums or groups. It may be just straight on the internet on Google. My computer is having this problem answered before, because you are not going to be the first person that will ask a question like that. People must have been asking before, and people must have been answering them, leading them to solution. So you go online and ask questions, and you see answers to computer problems that you can easily fix. These are the ways by which you can become versatile. You can discuss with older, colleagues in the job, or even, some colleagues, your mates. Discuss problem that you are having and the solution. That is how to be good at this job. Experience cannot be bought. You cannot buy experience in this matter. You can only acquire it. You earn it. You work for it. So experience comes little by little. You gather experience, for yourself. So that is how to be, good at troubleshooting and repair of computer system. Your aim, is to become very good at troubleshooting and repair of computer system. Your aim, is to become very good, but you cannot just be good suddenly like that. It is little by little. You're asking questions, relate with others that are in the business that are doing it. I think you are getting it. So, I don't know whether anybody still has any question here. Does anybody have another question, so that we can actually, say something on it? Since you don't have the opportunity to make a audio comments, but you have the opportunity to ask questions in chat, and I will respond to it. So you can please type something in chat, whether you have any question, or you want me to continue, or you want us to stop here, or you are enjoying it or not, your network is good or bad. You can type something in the chat. Okay. So do like this live stream. I see people, four people liked it. Others can also like it, and then subscribe to the channel. Let everybody subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, click on subscribe. It's important. Then ring the notification bell also, so that when we are posting new videos like this, the YouTube will notify you. They will notify you that another one has been posted. Okay. So that is the about networking and troubleshooting and preventive maintenance. It's very interesting, especially when you are into this business. Somebody brings a computer and you yourself, you fix it. You are able to fix it. You will see that you'll be very happy. You will be very, very happy that you are able to fix a problem yourself. All right. But the skills, you cannot develop just overnight. It is little by little you gather such skills, and then you gather the skills by showing interest. Let me also tell you that even the use of your computer, or even your personal phone, if you are not showing interest, you will not be able to use it to the full. You will not be able to enjoy the use. But by developing interest, keen interest in these aspects, then you'll be able to develop good skills. That is how it's not printing again. You begin to think, what probable reason? Okay, you say you used yes yesterday. You begin to ask questions from the owner. The owner will answer you, yes, I used it yesterday. When you when you click print, what happened? You say, today, when I click print, nothing happened. No, it's not doing anything again. By like that, asking different questions, you begin to imagine what the problem is. You know, what the problem is, you'll be able to imagine, okay, could be that there's no driver on this system. Could be there's no driver, or the driver of the printer is bad. So that's why the person cannot actually, print again. So by the time you are thinking in this manner, you now see that you have developed a plan. You have established a theory first. You establish a theory, and then you develop a plan of action to solve the problem. Are we there? Okay. All right. So it is like that. Skills, the troubleshooting and repair skills, you can have it by the time you show interest, developing more interest at the work. I think you are getting me. All right. So I want to I want us to mention some common problems and their solutions. Common problems and their solution. That is what we want to talk about now. Common problems and their solution. PC common problem and solution. In your notes under section 4.2, you will see all these common problem and solution. So we want to mention few of them, right? We want to mention few of them. First, some of the common problem, like I mentioned, the problem of computer may be three, either hardware, software, or networking, all right, or combination of those three. Now, some of the devices that may have problem on computers, they are, for instance, storage devices like the hard drive. You can have a problem. Sometimes, some problem may be just loose cable inside. Maybe one, socket that is plugged into the motherboard is slack, and that is what's causing the problem. Or sometimes we call something jumper setting on the motherboard may be the wrong position where the jumper is supposed to be. They place it in wrong position. It may be a problem. It may be the problem that the computer have. Sometimes the problem may come from motherboard and other internal components, often caused by incorrect or loose cables or failed components, incorrect drivers, corrupted updates, and so on. And sometimes problem may come from power supply. It may be power supply problem. And the power supply problem may come maybe from faulty power cable, loose connection, inadequate wattage. For instance, your computer requires 250 watts, but your power supply unit is actually 230 watts. The computer will turn on when you start it. It will start working. But as you are loading so many things on the computer, you are trying to do so many things on the computer, each of those aspects that you are loading, each of the app you are opening, will require power from hardware, and the total power will come from your power supply. And the power supply, once you exceed what the power supply can carry, you may discover that the system will go off by itself. It just go off. That's power supply problem. That means you have inadequate wattage. That is, the total power rating of your power supply unit is smaller than what your computer needs. All right. The problem may also be CPU and memory. Processor memory problem can be caused by faulty installations. Sometimes BIOS settings, inadequate cooling and ventilation. Very important, inadequate cooling and ventilation. When all the perforations where air is supposed to come out, hot air is supposed to come out, are almost blocked, the air will not come out and the hot air stays inside the computer and can spoil hardware inside the computer. It can cause problems, especially to the CPU and some other components on the motherboard. All right. Then sometimes maybe compatibility issue. Maybe you change one hardware and the new hardware you install is not compatible with your system, maybe with the motherboard. Then the system will develop problem. Then you having problem with how the system functions. And the problem sometimes may be display. The display. When we mean display, monitor, the screen, it can be problem from incorrect settings, loose connections, incorrect or corrupted drivers. These are some of the errors that might come in display. Now let's look at one particular problem. The computer does not recognize a storage device. That is, computer cannot recognize maybe hard drive that you install. What could be the probable cause? One, the power cable may be loose. Yes, the power cable may be loose. Another one, the data cable may be loose. That is, what is connecting data from hard drive to the motherboard may be loose. That one may be another cause. Okay. Okay. Let me also, okay. Power cable may be loose, data cable may be loose. Another problem may be there is what we call jumpers may be set incorrectly. Then maybe storage device itself has failed. That is, the drive itself is bad, and so the system cannot see it again. All right, and then it may be BIOS setting. The setting on the that the BIOS need to read the storage device may be wrong. That may be another reason. Cable, fix it properly. Check the data cable, fix it properly. Jumpers, go and check where the jumpers are. Are they well set? Are they at the right position? Now, if it is a storage device that is bad, you have confirmed that it's bad, replace it. So that is how it is. Then if it is a BIOS setting, Go to the setting and check all the settings. The correct drive. Is it the one that is supposed to be bootable? Is it the bootable one? And so on and so forth. All right. All right. Another problem that may be experienced on a computer. The clock on the computer is no longer keeping the correct time. Okay. When you boot the system today, you see that the date and time is wrong. You change it. It's working fine. Correct time, date. You shut down. Tomorrow, you turn on the system again, date and fine, and date and time not correct again. What could be the problem? The CMOS battery may be loose. Maybe it's not well seated in the socket. In that case, you need to secure the battery. Another probable cause may be the CMOS battery may be drained. That is, it has lost all the energy stored in it. So you need to replace the CMOS battery. So in short, when you're having problem with date and time, know that the problem is coming from CMOS battery. I think I mentioned that one also in chapter 3. Yes, when we talked about the advanced computer hardware components. All right. Now another possible problem, computer will not turn on. Computer is not turning on at all. What are the probable causes? Well, there are so many things that may cause that. One is that computer may not be plugged into AC outlets. Maybe the socket where you think you plug your system, there is no power there. Maybe the socket is bad, or only the switch of the socket is bad, and the computer. That one may be a probable cause. Another one may be the power cord is faulty. The cable that you are using from your socket to the system may be bad. Another one may be that a power switch is not turned on. Another one may be that a power switch is set to incorrect voltage. I made mention of this in computer hardware, advanced computer. Power supply units can come with two types of power system, one 10 volts, two 20 volts. And in that case, there will be a switch that you use to turn the power to the voltage in your own country. Now, if you are using 220 volts and the switch was set to 110 volts, your system will not turn on because the power supplied will not, be enough to turn it on. All right. Another problem may be the power button that you are using to turn on the system at the front panel is not, connected properly. And then when you press the power button, you are not really pressing it. The thing is not well pressed, and so the power will not come on. Sometimes maybe the power supply unit has failed. It has packed up, and then you have to replace it. So some of these problems may be the reason why a computer does not turn on. If it's only the computer is not plugged into AC, probably where you plug it, check if that socket is working. You can use another device to check that socket, whether power is there. And then if it doesn't work, try and use another socket where you are sure that there is power. All right, so you need to use a good AC outlet, and then use a good power cord. The power cord may be bad, so use another one. You swap power cord to check whether it's your own power cord that is bad. Then supply, maybe switch, the power switch. You must be sure that the power switch is set on. And then the power supply also, power supply units, if it's using two power supply, 110, 220, you must check where the switch is and set it correctly. Apart from that, the front case, of the computer may be probably slack, and it's not well aligned with the computer, so that when you press the power on button, you are not really pressing it well, so it's not bringing it on. So you check that place and adjust the front case properly. And then if power supply is bad, change it. That's the solution to that. All right. Another problem that we might think of is the computer will not boot or it locks up. At that point, what your mind will go to is CPU. Computer is not booting up, or when it's booting, just hang and stay there. It's not going out again. It means the CPU is overheating. That is a probable cause. Or the CPU fan is failing. The fan that is cooling the CPU is not working fine. Or the CPU itself has failed totally. That is why computer may not boot. Or when it's booting, it gets somewhere and stay there and cannot go again. That may be the reason. So possible solution, CPU is overheating. Then you have to install the CPU. Need to replace the CPU fan or add fan to the case also. Add fan or fans, more fan to the case so that hot air inside the case can come out of the computer. And then if it's the only CPU fan that is not fine, replace it. Or if the CPU itself has failed, then replace the entire CPU. So those are possible reasons why computer will not boot, or after booting it just hang up and then it's not going up. It's not booting up again. All right. The next one, let's check the next probable common problem. One, the has power but no image to the screen. The computer is displaying that there is power, but nothing is showing on the screen. In that case, it may be number one, video cable is loose or damaged. The video cable is loose or damaged. Or number two, the computer is not sending any video signal to the external display. So you need to check the video cable. First of all, check the video cable. If it's bad, replace it. Then you can use functional key, to check, to toggle to external display. Whether the computer is sending signal, you will know when you do that. All right. Another possible areas, okay, I've mentioned this possible area and troubleshooting process is reference tools used in repairing computer. So first, you will need your own jotter where you are recording, things that you are carrying out as you are repairing systems. The dates that they brought the system, the model, the brand name, the model, and so on and so forth. The things you did on it to actually fix the problem it has, then what you carried out to fix it, and so on. So you make note of all of this. All right. Then journal. We call something journal. Journal is a description of the problem, the possible solution that have been tried to correct the problem, the steps taken to repair the system, and so on. Then we also have something called history of repairs. That one is a detailed list of the problem and repairs, dates, what you replace, the parts you replace on the computer, customer information, and so on and so forth that will be recorded. All this one will help you in the future. Okay, it will help you in the future to actually solve some computer problem also. All right, I hope you people can still hear me. So let us know if you can still hear me. All right, so we are moving on to the end gradually. I want to know whether you are still hearing me over there. Okay, so the last part I mentioned earlier is reference tool. Where can you get information on repair of systems? One, internet search engine. I've said that. Type your question into Google. News groups, online news groups. Manufacturer facts. That is, if it is HP, go to HP. They have what we call facts. FAQ, frequently asked questions. From there, you may get solution to the problem of your computer or the computer you are working on. Then online manuals, online computer manuals, online forums and chats, and technical websites. These are the places where you can get more information. All right, more information about a computer. All right, there are still other problems such as RAID, when RAID cannot be found. So external RAID controller may not be receiving power, or BIOS settings are incorrect. BIOS settings may be incorrect when the RAID cannot be found, or the RAID controller has failed. These are errors that can cause controller. And then if it is BIOS setting, you need to reconfigure the BIOS setting for the RAID controller. And if the RAID has failed, replace the RAID controller. All right. So in this chapter, as you read, you encounter some videos, and so you can actually watch the video and learn more about troubleshooting and maintenance. I think you are with me. That's fine. So I see your response that you can hear me, but right now we have gone very far to the end of the lecture, and so we are going to end it very soon. I don't know whether anybody has question. Now, before we go, what are some of the tools needed for troubleshooting and repair? Let's mention a few tools here. We need screwdriver, two types of screwdriver, maybe Phillips types, maybe flat-ended and star-ended screwdriver. We also need what we call a multimeter. It's a tester. It's a tester that we can use to test various parts of the computer. So then we need power supply tester. Power supply tester to troubleshoot on a computer. All right. So I don't know whether anybody has a question. So I want to know. Ask your question now. I want to know if you have any question. We want to end it maybe in 3 or 4 minutes. You can ask your question now so that I can respond before we end it. So I'm waiting for your question, please. Okay, Muiz, what's the question, please? Muiz wants to ask a question. So, okay, somebody asked about posts. Yes, I've explained posts the other time. POST, power on self-test. I don't know how many times I've even explained POST. I've explained it like 2 times even today. In the course of the lectures, I've been explaining POST. Anyway, let me explain POST once again. POST means power on self-test. Power on self-test. That's what I'm typing on the screen again. Power on self-test. And what is power on self-test? When you boot up a system, that is when you turn it on, bam, what happens? The computer starts to boot. At that point, when it's going to boot, the computer does a self-check of itself. All the devices needed for it to boot up, to start up, the computer runs a total check on itself. You check the hard drive, you check the RAM, you check the motherboard system, you check the adapter, you check the bootable disk, the one that is set to bootable, you check the mouse, you check the keyboard, you check the display, you check everything ran, in a very small time. Why is he checking? Because if something is missing, it will not be able to boot up, to start up. So the computer will now inform you on the screen that so part is missing by an error message or a beep code, a code that says ping, 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 ping. There's a way when when you hear some beep, there's a way you detect that it's a fault. There are normal beep code, there are abnormal beep code. All right. So that is a POST. Before the computer actually boots up to Windows, in that black screen, the firmware stored in BIOS carries out POST, a run on the a run check, a run of check component installed. The computer has been programmed to do that first before it will begin to go and boot up and carry out, normal booting into Windows, bringing Windows operating system from the hard drive and placing it onto the RAM. Before that happens, it carries out, what we call power on self test. All right. So that is POST. I don't know if anybody also asked a question. What's jumper? A jumper is a small connector. It's a small connector that you can use to connect pins together on the motherboard. It's used to connect some part of the motherboard together, but there is a way you can move it from one point to the other, depending on what you want to achieve on the system, on the motherboard. That is jumper. It's a small, connector, small, very small. It's having plastic at the outside, but there is metal inside that can connect two pins together. You now remove it and put it somewhere else to connect two parts together. Somebody said I am lost to frequently asked question. Okay, somebody has answered that. Frequently asked questions. That is full meaning of VAQ. FAQ, frequently asked question. So that is it. So somebody has said I am lost. Well, no problem. We are going to end the live so that you can watch it at your convenience. Maybe with your free sub at night, you can watch it. Or everything we have explained here, you will still hear it again. Even when we get to the class, this is the same thing that we are still going to say. The same thing. We are going to say the same thing and repeat it. But we are not going to repeat everything again. We are going to, go faster in class because of these online classes that we have had. So that is it. So I'm going to end it now. We are ending it now. Now, regarding next class will be next week. So just pay attention to the group. Just pay attention to the group. So you will see information there regarding next class. When I decide, I will ask you guys on the group to tell me the time you want it, and then we can actually uh, agree on a time, maybe evening time like this, then we can have the class. So now we are going to end the live streaming now. Uh, we are not decided on the day yet. I'm not yet decided. Maybe during the week or weekend, maybe Friday or so. I don't know yet. But next week will tell us that. For now, there will be no more lecture this week. No more lecture. We have taken it on Thursday today, and then subsequently we can actually decide on when to have the next lecture. So thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to end it now. We can later on communicate on the WhatsApp group. So no, the students here are from the same Federal Poly Ilaro, but from different departments, not only from your own department. I'm talking to you now, Shakirat. Not only two departments that I'm teaching, other instructors too have sent the link to their students to join so that they can listen to the lecture together with you. And so that's why you can see some other students that join, right? That may not be from your own department. That is what happened. They agreed with other instructors that I sent it. So what departments? So from different departments, not only from two departments that I'm teaching. That is it. So, gentlemen and ladies, I'm ending it now. Later, you can watch it again. I'll send out the link. So anybody that doesn't belong to the group can reach out to me. If you want the link, I will send out the link. Of course, everybody that has logged in, please subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when we post new videos. Bye bye.